Did you know that Allstate Insurance, the Trahan agency, has 2 offices now, Plainfield and East Lyme? And that's good news for you, since Kevin Trahan has been in the insurance business for well over a quarter of a century. Plus, he's easy to find. Just search in any browser, Kevin Trahan, Allstate Insurance. And when you get to his Facebook page, you'll find tons of helpful information on questions you may not even have thought to ask. Allstate Insurance, Trahan Agency, Plainfield and East Lyme, proud sponsor of Griswold Youth Football.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/our stories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Your community radio. We love the 80s.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning, and 80s all day and night.
SNSN. Your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning, and 80s all day and night.
SNSN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
It's very stupid. How do you know? You're not even listening. So, I mean, glad to see you're ready to go today.
I see it's break my ass day.
Oh, I see. It's Paul's going to keep dropping all sorts of swear words day again, like Monday.
What did I say Monday?
Oh, you dropped a few, dude.
Oh,
you did actually. Why would I call you out like that? I'm serious. You were like, not going to have another God.
Oh well, that's
that's all right.
That's not swearing. I didn't use any.
In 1972, would it be swearing?
1972. I don't think I really swore.
We'd have sponsors. I mean, we'd have censors out there going.
I didn't throw any F-bombs.
No, you didn't drop any F-bombs. Oh, so that's the only unacceptable word? Is that what we're saying?
People say a lot worse than me.
So let's talk about, Sunday afternoon football, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Colts, they're not having any effing luck today. Oh, that would be acceptable?
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, why? By your definition, it would.
I didn't say that.
Well, then what?
I didn't say that you could drop F-bombs. Isn't that what I said? I didn't say any. I think you just want to pick on me today. Got nothing else to do except pick on me. Look in the mirror.
You can tell just by you. Paul, I can tell when Paul's aggravated. He's playing with the microphone, and pretty soon he's going to stand up and start swinging. He's a lover, not a fighter.
No, I can't. My shoulder's sore. Probably couldn't even lift it.
Mine too. So we'd be like this. Take that. Take that.
Oh, man. It seems like weird days. Some days it's worse. Today it seems to be worse because of the dampness. I don't know.
Good morning, Laura. We say good morning to Laura. She says good morning to you every damn day.
Good morning. I don't read the list, so I don't know who's here. Good morning, everybody.
Laura specifically said good morning, guys. It was Laura.
Good morning.
Laura.
Morning, Laura.
There you go. See? It's all about that one-on-one correspondence,
I hope we're more than one-on-one.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
You know why radio is always so popular?
Why?
Seriously?
Why?
Because it was that one-on-one correspondence with the listener.
Oh.
Anything I've always learned about being on the air and working on radio and stuff like that, is you want to talk on the air like you're talking to one person. You're talking to. So somebody's driving down the road or something like that, or they're all sitting on their headphones, or they go, they're talking to me. No, serious,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. So
That's true.
here's another thing too. And there was a lady when I first started out. Her name is Wendy, and I think I told you the story. I don't know. Probably through the years, I must have told you this at least once.
At least once. Yeah.
But she nice girl, and she was trying to get into radio.
Yeah.
And so I gave her a shot. I said, hey, I need help and need people and stuff like that.
Sure.
So whatever. So she would make some of the, I guess, the cardinal mistakes. But I guess if you don't learn, nobody tells you, whatever. She'll say, good to be with you today. Hi, I'm so-and-so. And I'm glad to be, or I'm like I'd be saying, I'm Mike with you today on a Saturday. So I sat down while I was talking to her and I said, let me ask you a question. I said, do you think you're being conversational? And she said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, would you use the same verbiage that you're using on the air, that if you were sitting at a coffee bar, that you would say to the person next to you? Yeah. I said, oh, okay. I said, I don't think you would. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, when's the last time you sat, at a breakfast bar, coffee bar, whatever, turn to your right and go, hi, Wendy Fields with you today?
Yeah. There you go.
Right? You wouldn't.
No.
You wouldn't do it.
No.
Or just turn to the other, hey, Wendy, good to be with you on this fine Saturday morning.
And I can imagine the 2 words that would come out of the person's mouth that she was sitting next to.
Shut up, you son of a. No, but that's really it, know?
Yeah.
That's, I learned that right from the beginning because I made the same mistakes, because you hear, you hear like listen to the old rock and roll DJs like Alan Freed or Wolfman Jack, those people, even Casey Kasem, back in the day, they always, Cousin Brucey, remember Cousin Brucey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They always talked and spoke on the air like they were speaking to you. And that was
what WINS out of New York.
10-10 wins.
10-10. Yeah.
Yeah. How about CKLW out of Toronto? That would come in at night.
No,
Yeah.
it was New York station.
WKBW Buffalo.
Yeah, and they were AM stations too, because
The Skip, yeah.
there was no FM back then.
Right, but even when there was FM, AM was still king.
Yeah, it was
still king.
Yeah,
and because of the Skip, you'd get stations from all over the place.
Yes, you would.
know
exactly. Yeah. Sometimes that worked with a TV too.
Scotzo and 10-10 wins.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Sometimes if you're watching television and you something would happen and another station would pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with radio. But unless you were a clear channel,
Yeah.
it's not like 66 WN. Well, I was WNBC.
Yeah.
That was Imus in the morning. Quack quack.
Yeah. Oh, Imus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Chuck McCord.
Yeah.
See, I mean, these are, and they got into, I think it was like 40 states because they were a clear channel AM station.
Yeah.
So that was as close to national as you could get.
Yeah, they were. Imus was big time.
Sure, he was.
Yeah.
Had his own brand of coffee from the Imus Ranch.
Yes, he did. Matter of fact, they sold
they
it.
still do.
They sold it at Mohegan Sun.
Do they?
They
Still?
did. They did
Okay.
say there was a Imus coffee shop upstairs.
Well, Imus is dead.
I know he died.
And I don't know about his brother, Fred.
I don't know.
He's the one that actually ran the ranch out in.
They did a lot with youth.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a lot with youth.
Well, that was a lot of things with the coffee.
Yeah.
That was all to benefit.
Yeah.
Their camps and stuff like that.
Yeah. Him and what's his name never got along either. The guy that was in the afternoon jock. What the hell's his name? Shit.
You talking about Mike Francesa?
No.
Francesa didn't get along with anybody.
No, what's his name? Not Howard. Was it Howard?
Oh, Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and the two of them didn't get along.
No.
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 Yeah.
So
Howard was over the. Yeah,
he was your traditional shock jock.
Yeah, he was.
Where Imus was, he'd kind of push the envelope,
Yeah.
but he was just funny.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't even him that was funny. It was
the people around him.
It was the people around him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus he did the simultaneous. He was on television stations. He was like doing.
He was on MSNBC
doing simultaneously with his radio station.
Well, that was back when it was WNBC and not WFAN, which it is now, which has been for like 40 years old. No,
yeah,
30 years.
Mostly sports now. Right?
It's all sports.
Yeah.
It's all sports. I used to work at WFAN.
Oh.
But this WFAN was in Pawcatuck.
Oh.
They had the call letters.
Oh.
They sold the call letters.
Oh.
Because they wanted it in New York, the Fan.
There you go.
Right. But and actually down in Stonington, it was Fun 102.
Oh.
So a lot of the like when I was growing up, that was like the top 40 pop station.
Gotcha.
Kind of like beat up Q105 a lot.
And Mohegan Sun had a radio station too. Wasn't them they had a station? Wasn't the Wolf or something?
Yeah, I don't think they owned it though. They
I don't
housed
know,
it.
They housed it there.
Yeah, it was Citadel Communications that owned it because I worked for that same Fun 102 when it became Rock 102.
Okay.
And it was the same as Q105.
Yeah.
And we were all WSUB. We were all in the same building.
Yep.
Which I think they're still in the same building in New London, right across from the police station.
Yeah.
So
no. Well, kind of AM, kind of even FM is kind of like on a borderline because everybody now has got satellite radio. So
well, there's just so many ways that and things to listen to now. Like I don't think we're missing anything here by not playing current music.
Yeah.
It's been my belief for quite some time now that people don't listen to commercial or terrestrial radio for any kind of music discovery. They did back in the day when I was growing up, because it was all you had, really, right?
Yeah.
You kind of whatever the stations were playing, that's when you were at your mercy. Now it's not like that.
No. Yeah.
Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music.
I don't even.
Right.
There's too many. What do you listen to?
Well, that's the thing.
Too many choices.
Music discovery. There are so many things. I mean, there are a lot of artists that are popular today that were discovered through social media.
Sure.
One of the biggest, Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
He's still is.
Yeah. No,
But
you're right.
he originally posted videos of him playing the drums. He's from Canada.
Yeah.
So Charlie Puth, another one.
Yeah.
Shawn Mendes.
Yeah.
These are all like internet sensations. Then they started having these things called Digifest, where they'd have all of these internet darlings and they would put them on tour. And a lot of them didn't even have their own music yet. Some of them did, but they didn't. But they weren't traveling with full bands. Basically, it was a karaoke fest. They would sing with the soundtrack.
Yep.
And they all became really, really popular.
Yeah.
There's still some kids that do it now. Who's the one? One is, and my daughter had Rihanna was following him at one point. I don't think she does anymore. But he's another Canadian kid, and his name was Johnny Orlando. But he was pretty.
Tony Orlando's boy?
No, I don't think so. No, that wasn't even his real name.
Oh, okay.
But he became pretty popular with the whole touring thing. Has his fans.
Yeah.
He's like 16 or 17 now, right around there.
Wow.
But he was, we used to be those cute little kids singing other people's songs.
Sure.
And stuff. He had decent voice, decent enough, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
Shayna says she loved Imus in the morning.
Yeah. Everybody listened to Imus in the morning when they drove to work
or drove to school.
Yeah.
You know,
and coming home, it was
because I didn't have an FM radio in my '62 Ford Falcon.
No. And then on the way home would be Howard, because he was on in the afternoon.
Right. You know who was on before Howard?
Who?
On WNBC?
Who?
Soupy Sales.
Oh, Soupy. Yeah.
Soupy Sales.
Oh.
He used to be on before.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I was working, so yeah.
And a lot of these folks, they left terrestrial radio.
Yeah.
To go to satellite, like Chris Russo, Mad Dog.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, because now they can have your own. They got your own Elvis station, Ozzy station. You know.
Yeah.
All the different artists back in the 80s and 90s
Right.
have their own stations now.
But again, music discovery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have so many different options.
Yeah.
You know, plus what you have on your device or your tablet or whatever,
Yeah.
your PC.
Yeah, and we all know with XM and Sirius XM, no matter where you're driving to, you can listen to one station here in Jewett City, and by the time you get to New York City, the same station playing.
Yeah.
You know, because that's one of the benefits that they used to push was nice. So,
Good morning, Facebook user.
yeah.
Victoria didn't click the link that says, yes, you can display my name.
Oh,
Good morning,
yeah.
Victoria.
Yeah.
I was going to say something soon.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, here's Sarah
No,
chiming in here about music online. She goes, I listened to a genre choice on Apple Music, like they say the 90s, and then act crazy talking to myself loudly with headphones saying, you haven't heard this in years.
Yeah.
Why am I surprised? I chose the 90s.
Yep.
I don't listen to music anymore to discover, but remember, quote unquote, I'm getting old. Sarah, we're not getting old. We're vintage. Vintage. So,
Yeah.
but it's true. If you're listening to 90s music or 80s music, by the way, find us at We Love the 80s on TikTok.
Yeah.
136,000 followers. Can't be wrong.
Hmm.
Okay. Sick plug.
80s music was really good.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole sect of people out there that thousands and thousands and thousands that think that the music died after the 80s. 80s had some great music. I mean, we had a lot of revolutions in the 80s. You had the Australian invasion. You had the punk evolution.
Yep.
You had the Australian, the English invasion. You know, new age, new wave.
New age, yeah. I listen to new age.
Now, do you know what new age is? New age is jazz.
Not all jazz.
Or were you talking about new wave?
No, new age.
Okay.
And I have a lot of albums of new
Mhm.
age. I used to buy it all the time. Now I play new age on XM, and I put it on before I go to bed.
Gotcha.
And because it's kind of like soothing music. Yeah.
Sarah goes, she did go to see Culture Club last week.
Oh,
And they played some new songs.
yeah.
So I guess I discovered, she
There
said.
you go.
See?
Yeah.
But you didn't get it on terrestrial radio. That was the whole point.
Yeah. A lot of the bands from back there are all coming back. They're all, they're not young. They're 60, 70 plus years old.
We're going to go see Hall & Oates in a couple of weeks.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At Mohegan Sun. So.
So we haven't got any free tickets from them lately. I don't know. Must be on their bad side. But the one good thing about it, when I did get the free tickets, I got to see a lot of bands that you heard about back in the 80s, and I got to see a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
During the course of the summer, which was good.
Yeah.
Which I liked. Matter of fact, I was watching.
We were going to go see Culture Club, actually,
Right.
but
Yeah. I was actually watching a documentary last night on Randy Rhoads.
You know,
Randy Rhoads.
guitarist.
Yeah, he first started with his own band. Then he was with Quiet Riot.
Yep.
He was a young guy. Who came from a family of a musical background. His family, excellent. I mean, guitar player.
Most of them do. I mean, it's generational. A lot of that is generational.
Yeah, he started playing, I guess, when he was like 10 or 11 years old. Became one of the most fantastic guitar players there ever was. And then of course, he played with Quiet Riot. Quiet Riot was never really able to get a record deal.
Sure, they did.
They did at the end, but when they were all together, they had a hard time getting a record deal. They, just couldn't get it.
They had a couple of hits. They had 2 or 3 hits. Then they faded out. And Kevin DuBrow, the lead singer.
Yeah, he was here.
Not Kevin DuBrow.
Was he dead?
He's dead.
Oh, then one of the guys.
The new guy. They've had the new guy for about 15 years.
Yeah, the new guy was
not
here.
new anymore.
Yeah, not yeah. So but then he went with Ozzy.
Right.
Yeah, Ozzy picked him up.
Isn't he dead too?
Who?
Randy Rhoads?
He died at.
I thought it was a plane accident.
It was a plane accident.
Okay.
It was a stupid plane accident because apparently they were out of one of the ranches someplace, and the guy says, "I got this plane. Let's go for a ride." So the guy starts buzzing around. He's buzzing the bus and he's playing around. Stupid accident. And he crashed into the bus and then smashed into the house, and all of them got killed. He was like 26 or 27.
That's terrible. Yeah.
I mean, it was a guy that had a fantastic music career ahead of him, and he died young. So, but it was just interesting watching something, So
other than Masterpiece Theater.
Yeah.
Senior Today.
Senior Today. Yeah.
Don't
watch that stuff.
They talk really loud. You don't have to turn up your volume.
Well, the problem today is that a lot of elderly people, they don't realize that they really have a hearing problem. Because you get a hearing problem, no matter. I don't give a damn what you say.
Yep.
And they won't invest in get themselves some hearing aids because, I can hear. Yeah,
How do you ask a 90-year-old lady if she wants more chicken for dinner?
I don't know.
You want more chicken? That's pretty much it.
A 90-year-old woman probably wouldn't eat that much chicken because when you get old, they don't eat much at all.
I don't eat as much as I used to.
No, your appetite drops off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well,
yeah, but my weight's not dropping off.
No, well, it's hard because it's.
I don't know. Maybe it's the 2 a.m. snack cakes.
No, I just think once it gets on, and when you get older, it's hard to get off. If you're
okay.
I mean, your metabolism is not like it was when you were 30.
Oh, I can.
So
definitely co-sign that one.
That's got a lot to do with it. There's a lot of people around. Not just you and I, but there's a lot of people look around. They're pretty obese. I mean, it got some weight on them.
Yeah.
Where you been? Oh my God, boy, you put on weight.
You pork up.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says that, right? It's not not in truth. It's like, you go, hey, Paul, man, you look great.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, instead of going, Paul,
what the hell happened?
Yeah, where are you carrying your car spare tire in your gut now, dude? What? Did you swallow that thing? You swallow a balloon? What?
That's true.
Yeah, they don't hear that stuff.
No, but it's true. A lot of people that you haven't seen in a while. I was like,
Mike, what's in your gut? A beanbag chair? What happened?
There you go. That's what happens.
They don't say that.
Yeah.
They're not nice.
Well,
yeah,
because you don't want to be insulting to the person.
So let's see. Quick programming note. Friday, we will be in Hartford for the Griswold versus Wheeler football game.
Oh, wow.
So that is Friday.
Griswold in Hartford, Griswold.
Weaver High School.
Oh, Weaver. I kept thinking Wheeler. Okay, you.
No, Wheeler's.
Yeah, you're right.
Griswold. Well, actually, Griswold Wheeler is a co-op. So really, it's the Griswold Wheeler
against
Wolverines.
Weaver. Yeah,
against Weaver.
Yeah, Weaver pretty good, huh? I mean, most of those.
I don't know. I don't know. They're new to the ECC.
Oh.
So I don't really know a whole lot.
Yeah.
About Weaver. I have put in a call or two to the athletic director at Weaver High School.
Yeah.
Have not been able to connect with him yet.
Yeah.
Mr. Cravino here at Griswold did.
Yeah.
Made sure we had, space in the booth. So, which is really, really cool. So
Well,
we appreciate that.
That's good.
And then Sunday, we're back at it with youth football.
Oh, cool.
So we will, and it's going to be Griswold versus Ledyard.
Oh.
So we'll be there with the
I don't
micros,
know,
the juniors, and the seniors.
I don't know what the weather like's going to be over the weekend. I don't know. Don't forget, this is now fall.
Yeah, but that's true.
You can't wear white now.
Why?
You can't wear white in fall. You only wear that in the spring and the summer. Put all those white clothes away. No more white shorts. No more white pants. Gone. We're in the fall. Remember that, ladies. Mm-hmm.
I don't have any white clothes. Back in the day, I think I had white jeans or something, but I don't have any.
No, I'm just
I have
saying.
T-shirts.
That's a fashion tip for you.
Paul's Fashionista.
There you go. So,
let's see. Kevin Cunningham says, Paul, the clothing police.
that's right. It all depends on how you look. It's in the look.
It's all in the look, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Dress for success.
Kids today show up in jorts
True.
for interviews. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dress for success. Yeah.
I can see kids now, they're sitting in an interview. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not about to do that. No.
How much money are you giving me? Nah, it's not enough.
No.
I got to be worth at least 25 to 30.
What time do I start? 9?
Nah. I'm still
No, let's see. 8:30 is about when I get up. It takes me about an hour and a half between getting ready and having some breakfast. And I got to stop and I get a mocha chocolate, macchiato coffee, something or other, and put it on the foam, hot, but not too hot.
Yeah.
And by the time I get to work, I start work best at 11:30.
There you go. And then I get an hour for lunch.
And then you get an hour for lunch. Have you seen the commercial or the fake commercial Interview with a Millennial?
No, I haven't. I might have, but I don't
It's
remember.
hilarious.
Is
It's this guy who's like our age.
Yeah.
And he's interviewing this young lady who is about, I don't know, early 20s.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. It's about a 5-minute video. Look it up on YouTube. It's funny. It's called Interview with a Millennial.
Oh, that's cool.
And the guy's just dumbfounded.
Oh.
So like when I just said, I said, I work best starting at 11:30.
Yeah.
That was basically came from that video.
Yeah. Speaking of commercials.
Oh.
All right. This guy's name is Colin Ferguson.
Colin Ferguson. Okay.
Ferguson.
All right.
He's on television. He's in a commercial, and he's usually in a blue uniform. Who do you think he is?
The Maytag repairman.
The Maytag
Yes!
repairman. Exactly. That's who he is.
Yes.
I mean, yes, he's also been in a lot of other sitcoms and things like that too on television. But yeah, that's the Maytag repairman, Colin.
Reefer man. You said the.
He's Colin Ferguson, the Maytag man.
He was very lonely, wasn't he?
Yeah, I get a kick out of it when he sits there. He's turned into
He's too busy calling Jake from State Farm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thank you, Laura. She goes, Mike, you're 100% correct. That's exactly how interviews go when they show up.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's true. So I know a kid, who is struggling to find a job, or should I say struggling looking for a job is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And this person has been told by more than one, maybe you should look and go to EB. No, I'm not about to go there.
Because you got to work?
No, different life choices.
Mm-hmm.
are apparently a little more important than the job. So I'll get it.
Yeah,
I think this guy will get it at some point, but right now it's not sinking in. So
I worked there when I was 18.
Yeah. Well, there's a young boy at Grizzle High School that I saw last Friday night at the he just graduated.
Yeah.
And AJ is his name. I mean, a lot of people know him. He stole the show in Greece, you know.
Yep.
I talked to him outside, and he goes, yeah, I'm going to the EB. And I shook his hand. I said, congratulations, man. I said, that's something that could, could really, really be a long-term career if you want it to be.
If you want it to be.
And he says, he goes, yeah, I'm excited about it and everything. Kid's 18 years old.
Yeah.
All right. He's going to EB and make good money.
Yeah.
And there's a bus in town that will take him there.
Really?
You don't even need a car.
Wow. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I remember when I went to work at EB, and of course they put you with a older person to show you around, and you work with them as
Sure.
Yeah. And I remember, well, I'm gung-ho, ready to go to work, blah, blah, blah. Take it easy, kid.
At one time,
go hide for 15 to 20 minutes. I got to go to the bathroom and read the paper.
You just stand right here.
Yeah.
You're making $22 an hour? Yeah. You just hang out there.
Yeah. But we can't work too hard. I mean, that's what it was that many years ago.
Yeah.
That's like unbelievable.
But EB, 2 or 3 years ago, announced they needed 5,000 people. 5,000 people.
Yeah.
It was like they announced that before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then they needed 10,000 people because
if you can, if you go to a place like that, you can move up the ladder if you want to take the time and invest in yourself, because a lot of places, especially like a company like EB would, if you want to go to school, a lot of them would invest in you to pay for your school.
Collins and Jewel in Norwich, they're another one.
Yeah, they'll pay for your
training,
and you can get a degree out of it while you're working.
And I forgot the name of the company, but there's a kid I heard about yesterday that's working, and they're paying for him to go to New England Tech.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I was very fortunate to get both a bachelor's and a master's from
a master's.
Master's.
Man, are you okay, dude?
Yeah, tongue twister. From Northeast Utilities.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school on my own time, of course, but they paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, and you're much older then, you're not partying because you're working and going to school. So it's, it's long days, but I'd have to pay for my education other than just a certain slump.
I think people in companies, they need people to work. So they have to say, all right, we will go ahead and we'll pay for your education because we need people.
Yeah.
Because it's specified labor.
Yeah.
To trade. So
absolutely. It's a good opportunity for people to get an education without, some people can't just afford it.
Yeah.
You're not getting an education in history. You're getting an education in manufacturing, electrical engineering, welding.
Yeah.
You're getting an education that you're going to use, not one that just something to go to school and party with.
Right.
Your parents didn't spend $60,000 a year for you.
Coming up in a few minutes, we are going to have Pastor Josh George come on in from Quinebaug River Church. I'm going to hang with him for a minute, find out what's going on with the building of the church. And because you look at it, it's a brand new entity, everything they did with the splash pad. And we'll talk about that with Pastor Josh in a little bit when he comes in. Mm-hmm. All right. Polino is in the house. He said, I could have had a job as a postman right after high school. I turned it down because I didn't want to work Saturdays. I would have retired last year with 30 years on the job. I was a stupid kid who didn't listen to my father. My dad told me I was an idiot, and now I agree.
Yeah, and I don't know what the federal retirements are, but a lot of federal employees actually retire early.
Yeah.
Because once they get their time in, I don't know.
Yep.
if it's like the state where you get almost 100% of your pay. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But you're right. Being a federal retiree is not bad to take.
I think the moral of this story right here is sometimes people that are older than you know better than you.
Yeah.
Take advice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I would have played something a little different. Maybe I would have went to the state, only because the state. I mean, I can't complain where I retired out of. Don't get me wrong. But,
Sure.
But maybe if I had another choice, because with the state, you know, you pretty much retire at 100%.
It's a big difference between a job and a career.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of them, you know, you got to work 20 years, 25 years, whatever it is, and you're done. You can retire.
And sometimes your job becomes a career.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
My mother always said to me, she goes, I don't care where you work, as long as that's legal. That's all she said. She said, as long as, you know, you get a paycheck and it's legal.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the only advice she ever gave me about that.
Yeah.
She goes, I don't care if you're digging ditches, Michael.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, the kids today, they have a career choice. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
There's a ton of opportunity right now.
Right now there is. Yeah.
You know, I wish, I mean, that this type of opportunity or as much opportunity was available to me when I was 18. But there's a ton out there.
Yeah, because you went through some tough times coming up through the last few years. I remember when I was working in the aerospace industry, I was working for Pratt.
Yep.
Aerospace industry went down the crapper. Where did I go? Out the door.
Down the toilet.
Yeah, same thing happened with defense.
But you kind of landed on your feet with CLMP.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I was very fortunate to work there, and I met a guy who actually took care of me. He actually got me a job there. I don't know what the contact was, but he knew the personnel director, and I was very fortunate to get a job at Northeast. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Let's get into what we were the main topic of the day.
Yeah.
Summer's over.
It is over.
It is over. Today is the first day of fall. Were there a lot of things that do you think people didn't get a chance to do this summer? Like, no, Dave, I'm fine. I'm tired. Because he looks like I'm hurting. No, I'm just tired today. Like, no, I'm gonna see. You can't yawn when you're doing a show because then it's like
it's rude.
Yeah, it's rude, and I'm sorry. But
it sounds like we're boring you to death.
No, or I feel like I'm boring myself. That's why you know what I mean. So you don't do that. Yeah. He goes, too much. We love the '80s last night. Hey, Dave, I'm nationally ranked right now. There's a contest. In the world, I'm top 100.
There you go.
What?
So getting back to the song.
Yeah. So was there anything that you wanted to do that maybe you're not the person to ask?
No, because my back was starting to hurt me, and I really couldn't walk couldn't do stuff for about 3 or 4 weeks. But I think the other thing that's prevented a lot of people was the heat. We had a pretty warm summer. And, you know, if you wanted to go outside and do something outside, the sweat would just pour right off you.
What about finances?
Well, that's tough, too, because everything was, don't forget, gas was up to over $5 a gallon.
Yeah.
You know, and man, you want to go someplace, that's a lot of money to spend $5 a gallon.
Right.
Of course, now they brought it down. They could have brought it down, but 3 months ago, but that's beside the point. But yeah, I think that prevented a lot of people from going anywhere.
Well, flying was cheaper than driving.
Yeah, but even the cost of flying was up. Everything is up.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of family picnics probably didn't happen because of the price of, hot dogs, hamburgers, all that stuff is not cheap.
You know, I'm kind of wondering if people, didn't go on their family vacation.
That's possible
because of
are
they not back in the swing of things yet because of COVID?
I think
Have they not caught up yet? I mean, I'm sure there's quite a few people that have not. They have not caught up yet, and it's like, oh,
I think a lot of people got off of COVID and wanted to do stuff, but when it came down to going someplace or putting food on their table, they ended up like, I can't do it. I think that was we come off of one issue and now we go on to another, which I think impacted a lot of people during the summertime. So probably, local beaches probably were packed a lot more than normal.
Even parking to the beach it's like $20-$25.
I mean, there's nothing. What are they gaining by getting $25? What are they trying to prove? Keep people away from the beach?
No, I think you have a captive audience. People are going to go, and they know
so they're going to spend $25 whether can afford it or not.
They're going to go.
They're going to go. Yeah. But yeah, it was an extremely warm summer, that's for sure. Very warm.
Do you think more people will jump out and do things in the fall now?
I think people,
because there's a lot of autumn activities.
Yeah. I don't know how the fairs did this year. I don't know. Of course, Eastern States, I think, is still on, I believe.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I don't know how that's doing, but this kind of weather, you can get outside and pretty much do a lot of good things.
I don't know what happened. I didn't go to Brooklyn. I didn't go to Woodstock.
No.
Basically because I don't know. And this is just me. This is, $10 to park, $10 or $15 to get in. You spend $25 before you've even done anything.
Yeah.
And we actually did. Rihanna wanted to go to one of the fairs, so we actually ended up at the North Haven Fair one day.
Yeah.
And she said she wanted to ride some rides. Okay, so and then I said, "How many are you going to ride?" And she goes, "I'm not sure." She goes, "A few at least." So we looked at the price of the wristband as opposed to the tickets, because just the Ferris wheel alone was 5 tickets, right, to get on, right? Whatever. It's $1.50 a ticket.
Wow.
So it's $7.50 just to ride the Ferris wheel. So I got her the band. So we walked away, and the very first thing is a jumpy thing. You have the, you're strapped in, with rope, you can whatever, jump, do whatever.
Yep.
Wristband's not taken. It's $10.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, so I just paid $30 for this wristband, and you guys don't even take it? No.
Wow.
You know what was the best thing we did at that whole thing? The axe throwing.
Oh, yeah.
We each had 10 throws, and it was only $10. I mean, $10, whatever, still. But you know what? These two entrepreneurial kids that were doing this, they were young, like 22, 23 years old. They were making bank.
Oh, yeah.
$10, $10.
Something new.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
And they taught us how to do it.
There's a lot of things now that you can do. Like down at the Foxwoods, they got the smash thing.
Oh, smash rooms.
Yeah.
But those are, you can go, they're all over the place. There's West Hartford, there's Middletown. Oh, there's a couple others that you can go to. The one at Foxwoods, really expensive.
Oh, I don't
really
know.
expensive.
Yeah. I don't know what it was like one at Foxwoods. I mean, that's the one I was talking about. But yeah.
But those are a hoot, man.
Yeah, you go in there, smash stuff. Now at Foxwoods, they got a selfie thing. They got all these different rooms set up.
Yeah.
Like you can go in a bathtub, you can go in a phone booth. They got all these different rooms, and you take selfies.
Yeah.
Of the scene that you're in. So that is, holy cow.
Victoria says that we never stopped our trips during COVID. We just drove instead of flying. Now I have flight credits I have to use up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, those credits are not going to be worth much because airfares are up.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Polino says it's a minimum of $500 to take my family to the Big E. Between tickets to get in, parking, ride, wristbands, and food.
Wow.
That's not to mention if we decide to go into the pavilion and buy stuff.
I know. They have a lot of stuff in there. Because you all get sucked into.
Now, Dave, you have 3 kids, right? So, like, even if you're just like, Americana, mom, dad, 2 kids, right?
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money,
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Will people go to them? Like,
no.
there's nothing, and oh God, I hate to say this, but there's nothing at the Woodstock Fair or the Brooklyn Fair. Well, first of all, I wouldn't go to both because they're both the same.
Yeah, one's smaller, the other one just adds on to it.
Right. And Woodstock has more national entertainment.
Yes. Yes.
So, but anyway,
No.
I don't know.
No, we didn't.
I'm not going to go to both if I go to any of all.
Yeah, we usually go to Woodstock, but because I couldn't walk that good, we missed out. We didn't go to the Woodstock.
No.
Yeah. So we didn't go any fairs this year at all. We didn't go last year either because we were going to go to the Woodstock one, and they got rained out. And of course, the day we usually went, well, they canceled it because the parking lots were soaking wet. So we never went to that one last year. So it's been a few years since we've been to fair.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, what about anybody else? Anybody have any change of plans or change of heart on vacations? Or, I mean, instead of going like in maybe a week somewhere, did you opt for day trips or something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times that if you go on the day trip thing, and you go, let's say you go on 5-day trips, in like 2 weeks.
Well,
you're spending just as much money, I think.
Well, the other thing that might have happened too is some of the COVID trips might have got canceled, and then you had to use them up this year.
Yeah.
Or lose your money.
Polino says we don't even go to the North Haven or Durham fairs because it's a ripoff. It's cheaper to buy annual passes to Six Flags.
Oh, there you go.
And Victoria says, and if Six Flags even continues to exist.
Yeah.
Victoria, my kid was complaining about how expensive it was to go to the Woodstock Fair with his daughter this year. I was like, aren't you happy? You only have one kid?
Yeah.
Victoria Robinson Lewis. Not Vicky. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do that. I made that mistake yesterday. It's Victoria.
Oh. Gotcha.
One of our newest, latest, and greatest co-hosts here at SNSN, who will be able to go ahead and enjoy our new studio facilities. Victoria, laughing emoji. Daryl, the Woodstock Fair is too packed for me.
All depends when you go. I agree with them that if you get there
4:30 in the morning.
No, we always used to go
milking the cows.
Go up on a Friday morning and get there when it opened, and we get out of there by 1:00.
Yep.
Because once you get into the mid morning and latter afternoon, he's right. It becomes very packed. You can't even walk up and down the streets. Yeah.
Didn't somebody get stabbed at the Woodstock Fair last year? The answer to that is yes.
Oh, yeah. I think they did have somebody.
Yeah, it was a young boy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 17.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Over by the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Because somebody looked at their girl wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is today.
Yeah. You can't do that, because you don't know.
You don't know.
It's a frightening society when you can't.
No.
Shut your mouth, because otherwise someone's coming for you.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You never know.
Let's see. I'm just looking at my thing here. I was just wondering, because we had Pastor Josh that was coming in, but I don't see him yet.
Oh, well. While we're waiting for Pastor John.
Or Josh. My God, you are like, what?
Whatever. Wow. Josh, John, both the same.
Tell him that.
Whatever. Why did the sailor lose his job?
Why did the sailor lose his job? I do not know. Why did the sailor lose his job, Paul?
Because he missed the boat.
Wow.
But come on.
Jesus.
They get one in.
It's a joke sponsored by nobody.
That's right. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a crap.
So
I said crap.
Yes, you did. had a lot of people say to me, because they knew that we are moving.
Mm-hmm.
We're leaving the Jewett City Savings Bank Studios.
Yep.
After almost a 6-year stay here. So it's kind of bittersweet. It was really weird the other day when Reason to Ride, who was in here as well, and they were packing up all their stuff, put it in a U-Haul, and they've moved to Plainfield now.
Yep.
And Josh is coming now.
Oh.
So it was weird because I was like, are we breaking up? It was like a relationship that was breaking up, because we had shared this, they occupied space here for a while.
Yeah.
Probably at least 4 or 5 years themselves, 4 years.
Yeah.
5, about 4 years.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little longer. Well, anyway, they left and now I look over to that empty space and it's like, I feel like it's a relationship that has ended.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. And it's going to be the same thing when we pack up here this weekend.
Yep.
And move on to greener pastures, so to speak.
Yep. So you're still going to be broadcasting for a few more days from this location, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume, you know what happens when you assume?
Yeah.
That the only broadcasting we will be doing this weekend will be Friday night and Sunday.
Gotcha.
I think we're going to go radio silent on Saturday
because
of the move.
Yeah.
That's going to depend on a few things, but but we will still be on Main Street here in the borough of Jewett City. We are moving to the Paragon office rental, or it's the old UCFS building.
Gotcha.
So we're going to be there starting as soon as we move from here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I see a Josh George.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
It's all right. Go on in. Come on, right over here.
How you doing?
You're going to even be on camera.
Yeah,
Great.
What's that chair? Don't be careful.
Yeah, don't use that.
Don't use that chair.
Standing's good.
Let me fix the camera here because I'm gonna get what the heck. See, now this is an issue we won't have in the new studio, Paul.
Right.
So where's your new studio? This is news to me. What's the new studio?
They are selling this building.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we're
okay.
We're leaving, and
right.
we're going to be we're in the old UCFS building.
Okay.
So we're going to have our studios up on the second floor.
Yeah, with
So-
Matt's Mission and. Is that the building?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and we do a lot with Kathy, at
Mhm.
Matt's Mission. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be nice. It'll be
Yeah.
really, really cool. So
Yeah.
we walked into the room the other day, what it was, what it looked like and what was the amenities already. I'm like, this is meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is too weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have a green screen in this room.
Oh,
They have a table like this,
that's
But-
cool.
and it even has electrical outlets and USB outlets built into
All
the
right.
tape.
Yeah.
So,
Because I know years ago the bank was not willing to sell this building, and so
well, there's a new regime.
cool.
And they've decided that they want to get rid of it. So okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yep.
How have you been?
Good.
You
Yeah, it's been a
okay?
minute. Yeah.
So what? One thing that I don't know if a lot of people know, or I think a lot of people do know, but not everybody knows. Like your pastor Josh George from
Mhm.
Quinnebog River Church.
Yep.
And there's a lot of things that you do in the community that I don't think people are aware of.
No, I keep quiet.
No, well, some people do know, but I don't think. What kind of activity did you get at the splash pad, for
Sure.
example?
It was our first full year of the splash pad. A lot of folks probably may not know that Jewett City is home to the newest splash pad in Eastern Connecticut. To the best of my knowledge, there are only 3. One at Owen Bell, of course, which is shut down right now.
Is it really?
For the year?
Okay.
The other one is at the Dinosaur Park, but you have to pay to use that one. That one's a gorgeous one. I take that back. There's a 4th one at Ocean Beach, which is really nice as well.
Strawberry Park has one.
Oh, they do?
They do.
Okay.
They put it in about 3 years ago.
Very cool. Most of these have a fee associated with them. I don't know about Strawberry Park.
Well, you gotta
So,
camp there. So yeah.
Owen Bell obviously does not. Anyone can just use the one at Owen Bell. The other 3 have fees associated with them. Ours does not. So we funded it as a church and as a community development corporation. We raised some money, and we have a splash pad right on the Patchogue River. And the idea is that it gives our neighbors a place to walk to in the summer to enjoy, like, the idea of swimming in the river without swimming in the river.
Yeah. Especially now, I mean, the river's so low anyway. I mean,
now it's looking good. Yeah.
Yeah. You see the waterfall?
No, I haven't been up there.
Okay, so like the waterfall, just for example, like we walk the dogs right down, through the park and everything. And when they really started talking hot and heavy about the drought, the waterfall, there was only a small section where water was traveling over, and you'd look down and the water wasn't moving. Because usually you'd see it flowing downstream, right?
Yeah.
But since the heavy rains that we had a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever, it's coming through.
Yeah.
And then we seem to be getting more regular rain now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it seems like Mondays it seems to rain now.
Yeah.
It seems to be Monday.
I mean,
so
is the state going to affect you guys? 'Cause I thought they were going to do something with that portion of the river.
Yeah. The plan is to V-cut the dam on Slater Ave.
Yeah.
And long story short, it's not a priority. So it's been pushed. Last I heard, and it's been years since I've talked to the state about it, it's been pushed back for an indeterminate amount of time.
Oh, then you're good.
So no one's holding their breath.
Yeah.
But we have a splash pad. And so there are a number of things that we do to be a good neighbor. Honestly, it's very important to us. One is we have the splash pad. You go down there, you hit the red button, and
that's it.
That's all there is to it. And we have benches down there, and there's a porta potty down there. We provide all of that. And so that will only be open for about another week or so. And then we're going to turn it off for the winter months.
Sure.
The other thing we share is our parking lot. We have 85 parking spots in downtown Jewett City. Now you have to go to the end of School Street to know that it's there. So we provide parking for a number of our neighbors who are there a lot, especially when it snows.
Oh, sure.
So we're trying to keep School Street is only 26 feet wide.
Yeah, it's very narrow.
And you park a car or two on it, and it gets real squishy real quick.
Yep.
And there's just not good parking for our neighbors. There is some parking off street, but not much.
Yep.
So we share that, and we would love,
you just let people go. You just let people come in and
we
park
just let
there.
people park there. That's right. All we ask is like, don't do an oil change. Don't drop your tranny. In fact, don't do any maintenance at all.
Yeah.
Don't do that in our parking lot.
Don't do donuts.
Yes,
would you
please.
like a donut?
No, thank you. Yeah, we have
bricks.
people come down and turn around all the time, like a few an hour. And also the state troopers maintain a nice presence down there, which I'm very grateful for as well. And so like we're hoping in time, again, it's not something that I get out on social media because I'm not a big social media presence, or the church isn't much. Is that, like if people want to come and have dinner or lunch or whatever in Jewett City, by all means, like you can park in our parking lot, and like you're literally 2 blocks away from anything in downtown Jewett City.
I just remember at church one day, he goes, yeah, we share our stuff.
We share our stuff. It's one of our values.
Don't you guys have like a community co-op or something there too?
So the third thing that we share is our building.
I guess
Well,
that's right.
Paul, there you go.
So we share the inside, we share the outside, we share down by the river. I don't know if this is exactly true anymore, but at one point we had given away more keys to people from the community to our building than people who come to River Church had keys.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's evened out now. But all of our community-based activities are available on our website or on the River Community Development Corporation website through Ryan Aubin, grew with Grizzle Parks and Rec. bottom line is we offer there's karate classes on Monday nights. These are not River Church activities. These are community groups that we share the building with, because as I know, as you do, finding a nice place to do business in downtown Jewett City can be a little spicy. And so we offer this to community-based groups. And so we have karate on Monday nights. We have women's aerobics and Pilates on Monday nights and Thursday nights with Tori. And Tom is our karate teacher. On Wednesday nights is Mixed Fit with Kristen. That's the loud night.
Kristen Goodwin.
Yeah, they play it loud. And then we also have AA meeting on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. So 4 nights out of the week, someone is in the building, and it's not us. Now, we do use the building, but we're in there at the same time. And so we share our stuff. And
it's big enough that you can do your stuff and they can do theirs. And
last night was great. We had our own small groups. We had 4 small groups meeting and AA, and we start with dinner. So, we just come and everybody has dinner together, and then we go to our respective programming. And so we love it. And the groups have been wonderful people. They're taking great care of the building, which we really appreciate, because it's all volunteer. All the cleaning and the maintenance is just us. So it's been great. So they have keys. They open up the building. They do their thing. They clean it up. They lock it up. We've given away so much programmable space and time at River Church that we kind of have, we had to slow down. Because we were running out of space to do our own programming. So we share our building, we share our parking lot, we share our splash pad. That's all we have.
I don't think there's another business or organization in town that says that they do anything close to that.
The model that meant a lot to us was, of course, we met at the school for almost 7 years, right up until COVID. And while we did not have a key to the school, obviously, they were very generous with the use of their space for us. Every time we opened up for a worship service, they opened up the school for us. And so we kind of took that and made it our own. I was very moved by that and very grateful for that. Because, when you're starting out, you have exactly diddly squat. Like, you've got nothing. You've got an idea. You've got a hope to make a positive impact, and you need help. And so with the school's generosity for the 6 or 7 years that we met there, how could we lock the community out of our brand new building? So we won't. We don't. We refuse to. We've taken it even a little further. So it's been great. It's been very good. Very grateful. Very, very grateful.
Then there was a little bit of a problem with water.
So most of the people who are listening probably know that obviously we're all on city water, which is amazing, and sewer. So are we, which is great. We're at the end of the line at School Street. During the day, we have 120 psi of water pressure. That is an awful lot of water pressure. And then at night, it goes up and it cycles as the demand goes down. And so we get what's called a water hammer at night. I've learned this the hard way. Which means we get pulses of anywhere from 150 to 160 psi at night. Well, that worked loose a brand new fitting in our cafe sink in May, and we pumped 1,000 gallons through our building in the space of one night.
Wow!
And it destroyed half of our building. $160,000 worth of damage in a brand. So I spent a year building the place, and then a year later we had to rebuild half of it. So it was a very challenging season, and we're still we're almost done with that, the rebuilding of River Church. So people heard there was a flood and they're like, oh, they're so close to the river. No, the river had and will never have anything to do with flooding at River Church. All of that is a matter of state law and flooding compliance and all of that. So we're bulletproof that way. No, it was a water line that worked its way loose in the cafe and catastrophically.
Because it's when you get in the pulses, you can hear the pipes banging.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
So we have
this is the middle of the night, though.
It was middle of the night. The only indication I got was 11 o'clock in the morning. My alarm company called me and said, we're losing alarms. They're dropping off the system. It's not smoke. It's not heat. It's something else.
Mm-hmm.
It was water
Wow.
flooding the ceiling of the lower level. So the paint was so good, it trapped the water underneath the smoke detectors and drowned them. They were in these massive blisters of water.
Wow.
And so I was out of state at the time. I called Ryan, and he got into the building and was able to shut the water off. And I was completely devastated. Like I broke.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
it was very,
Sure.
because my son was getting married in that building in a week. My wife had COVID at the time,
Oh,
and I
boy.
just flooded my brand new building.
Oh,
Like
boy.
it was a bad day.
Yeah.
Really bad day.
And I remember we talked once a long time ago. And I remember you talking about the JRB
Mhm.
and the Juvenile Review
Review board.
And he would say, sometimes you just have a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Well, you had a really bad day.
I did. And sometimes
yeah.
our bad days are our own doggone fault, you know, and that's where as a pastor, we talk about repentance and forgiveness and saying we're sorry and doing things differently.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad days are just bad days.
Yeah.
You know, nobody did anything wrong.
Yeah.
You know, nobody did anything wrong. We have great water pressure in the borough, which I have now put a meter on so that we can restrict it.
Can't you? So you're good now.
Oh yeah,
You're-
we have since modified our system so that we restrict the water pressure down to 60 psi, which is plenty
Yeah.
for our purposes.
Yeah.
Because we're not looking to have any other water lines catastrophically fail.
Of course not.
So no, our resolve to keep the building open and to share it has been tested. Yeah.
I mean, other places may have, because of that kind of damage, may have just folded.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah.
We were able to stay open throughout. Our community groups were very flexible. The church was very flexible. We're still waiting on cabinets and to replace the actual sink that failed.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be done in a couple of weeks. And it's one of those deals where if you're looking for reasons to quit or be scared, there's only about 4 million.
Yeah.
You know, but if what you're doing is the right thing to do, then get up the next morning and keep trying.
Sure.
So we're very
Absolutely.
grateful to be, you know, soon back to what we consider. We had the building for a year and then it was taken from us basically.
Oh, Sunday,
Wow.
Sunday looked pretty good.
Yeah, no, everything's been repainted and replaced
Mhm.
and new flooring. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. It's been, my probation officer has been very happy with my activity level.
Your probation officer. Would that be Trish?
No, she's
So now River Church has been a little over a year at this location. 2
year and a
years.
half.
You're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how are things going with the church, you know, per se, you know, like we're talking about what you guys do for the community and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like I know, so like I went Sunday, and one of the things I really enjoy, this is going to sound kind of like a sadist a little bit, but what I enjoy is listening to somebody that has a lot of emotion. All right.
Mhm.
Well, Pastor Josh has a lot of emotion, you know, and he was talking about, and to me, that's important. You know what I mean? When you're sharing some personal stories in what she does, and you put your personal heart and soul. This is not, you're not on TV, you know, going like this and,
Mm-mm.
you know, whatever. You're doing your thing. You're wearing your heart out on your sleeve.
Yeah.
You know, so
I appreciate that. There's a balance that, you know, a good sermon is about Jesus, but to help people make a connection with biblical truth, it helps if it has a personal story with someone that you can see and hear. And so some Sundays are more personal than others. This past Sunday was
very personal to you.
Yeah, it was. Between the past couple, the topic matter and preaching through the book of Job, because of my experiences in the building, feeling like we had a really bad day and it wasn't our fault, but here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would God allow the newest?
Is that why you picked that subject matter by any chance?
100%.
There you go. Okay.
So it's what I'm preaching on Sunday is an outgrowth of what I'm personally struggling with, learning through myself.
Mm-hmm.
Hence some of the personal nature of it. But when God calls you to be a pastor and you're able to start a church and build a new building, and then it's taken away, like, what is he doing? Of all the guys to destroy their building
Mm.
in Jewett City, why was it me? Like, can't we all think of other buildings we would rather
Yes.
see destroyed?
I can give you 5.
But it was my building, the newest building, the one that's trying the hardest to
Yeah.
share and be kind and put legs and arms to the gospel. That's the book of Job.
Yeah.
And so I felt like if this is happening, we need to wrestle with the why question and what does the Bible say on the bad day. So yeah, that's been our study through Job. And also 9/11 is always kind of it catches me because I was flying for Delta through the 9/11 experience. And then on 9/12, I happened to be in the city this
You're
week.
a pilot by trade, which I knew,
Yes,
but yeah.
yeah. My original training is as a missionary pilot, so I flew overseas for a season, and then I flew for Delta for a season, and then I've been a pastor for almost 20 years now. But I was in the city at Ground Zero this year, right around on 9/12, and so that kind of hit me. So that definitely lends some emotion. I mentioned that,
Yeah.
from the pulpit. And then, so I do preach with emotion, some weeks more than others, but it's important to me that people are able to feel like that the word of God is relevant because it's making a difference in my life. I am hoping that it can also make a difference in the life.
You definitely make it relevant. It's unlike any other church that I've ever been to. Everybody you talk to is like, hey, how are you? It's, I don't ever feel when I walk into River Church, I don't ever feel like I'm being treated fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Thompson comes over to me and goes, hey, what's going on? He gives me a big bear hug, and,
Yeah.
And I've met a few other people and stuff.
Yeah.
And here's the odd thing. And this is what we'll talk about this in a little bit.
Sure.
I actually, Paul, ended up, at the beginning, inviting my parents to come to River Church. This is back in the school. Still had in the school.
Yeah.
And now, they kept going.
They're every week.
right through Sharon's stroke.
Yeah.
She was out for a little bit and stuff like that, but
super faithful. Yeah.
And now they brought me back.
Yeah.
That's a story, upon itself, but
that's been fun.
It's weird how things
come
full circle.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's next with River Church? What's
right.
I mean, the building is healing. It's
right.
They're fixing it up, and
the pithy way of saying it is now that the building is done, it's time to start building. And I've been sharing this with River Church. And what I mean by that is now that we're done constructing again, almost, it's time to start doing the actual work. Because here's something I don't know that you ever hear a pastor say it out loud. None of the churches that we see in the New Testament are still churches. The ones that got a letter, because that's the books of the Bible in the New Testament, are named after towns where there were new churches: Philippi, Corinth, Galatia, Thessalonica, Ephesus. Real places, real people, real churches. They're gone now. Every church has a life cycle. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And obviously we're at the beginning of the life cycle for River Church, but at someday, just like there's no church in Corinth now, or at least none that we would recognize from the first century, there will be no Quinnebog River Church. So what are we actually building? What we're building is the work of God in people's lives. And so when I say that now that we're done building, it's time to start building, I'm not talking about building River Church, even numerically, although we would like to see that. It's about investing in the people who are there. Their understanding and interaction with God's word, their personal sense of calling, why they're here, what they're supposed to be doing, that kind of building. Because that building goes on. There's still people who identify as Christians thousands of years later, even though there isn't a church in Corinth anymore. So you tell me what's going to make it. People are going to make it, and those decisions of faith. So how do we help people find out where they are on their journey of faith? Because whether you think about it or not, Everybody is on a journey of faith. We all believe in something, and we're either growing in that belief or we're not. So where are we in our journey of faith? How do we partner with someone and help them continue on that journey? Because that lasts forever. River Church is going to come, it's going to go. There used to be a school there. Then it was a police station and a town hall. Now it's a really nice parking lot with a building that looks like a community center that's actually a church. And in 100 years, what's going to be there? I have no idea. Maybe River Church, maybe something else. But those decisions of faith, they dent eternity. So now that the building is done, it's time to start building. And so getting to know people, investing in their lives, that's the next step for River Church. We're never going to expand the building. We're not going to make the parking lot any bigger. The splash pad isn't going to get any splashier. It's done.
Splashier.
It's done.
Bigger, better, splashier.
More splash. Right.
Sunday.
What we're hoping to do, and that's why I was a few minutes late this morning, is beginning at the end of the street and working our way out through the borough. We get to know more and more people and assist them, partner with them on their journey of faith. And so I bumped into one of my neighbors this morning, which is gold for me. That makes my day when I get to run into someone that lives on School Street and hear about how they're doing and catch up with them. So that's the work of River Church. And honestly, that's probably one of the reasons why we're just not on social media a whole lot. Like, that doesn't lend itself for a social media presence so much. And so that's why we're okay with kind of growing organically, word of mouth, slowly, so that we can take really good care of the people that we have in the hopes that we'll be entrusted with more.
But you do have a website. Which, like
we're so web savvy, hip. Yes, we have a website. Go to riverchurch.org. We also have gotorc.org, which is supposed to be go to rc.org. But when my boys saw it for the first time as teenagers, they're like, "Dad, how did you get gotorc.org? That is the coolest website ever." They grew up seeing the movies, reading the books. Like, we thought that domain would have been snatched up. So it's gotorc. We have orc, all the orc. Gotorc.org is also our website. We are on Facebook, and I have an admin that helps me. We basically advertise what's going on at the church from time to time. And we will be letting the town know that I think this week we'll let them know that I think October 1st we'll shut down the splash pad for the year. So if you want to go hit that red button and get splashed, you got another week and a half to do it. And
then it'll reopen again sometime in April, perhaps, or
usually by May. So we want to make sure those lines can get frozen. And so
I was just going to say, you're going to shut the water off.
We shut the water off. We drain the splash pad and we pickle it with the same antifreeze that you use in your RV.
Gotcha.
So that we have pink fluid in there throughout the winter, because those lines are shallow that go into the splash pad. So we have to pickle them, I call it. And then we blow it all out. And what people should know too, especially in a post-COVID-ish environment, we have 2 water mains on our property. One is dedicated to the splash pad. That's all it does. It is literally drinking water that is used once, and then it goes down into our drainage ditch and out into the river.
So it's not recycled or anything.
No, you could literally drink it.
Gotcha.
It's the same water that you get out of your faucet, and it's used. It's all it does. It doesn't go into the building. It goes to the splash pad, up and out.
So like how long do you have to, like, when you open it back up again, I'm assuming you have to run it for a little bit. I know I'm going off the
no, it's interesting,
but like, because you're embalming the thing, and then next and the next thing you know, you've got to open it up. How long you got to run it?
Hook up the main to an air compressor and blow all and the stuff is pink. They dye it so you can tell that. And so you hook it up to an air compressor and blow all the pink stuff out, then hook it up to the water line and run it until you stop seeing pink.
And you're good.
Yeah. It took about half an hour this year to unpickle it.
Well, that's not bad.
It's no big deal.
No,
it's no big deal.
So what are something else about River Church that's not we haven't talked about? Just kind of finish up on what's happening with
probably the most exciting thing that we're hoping to draw people's attention to. Of course, people are welcome anytime. 10 o'clock Sunday morning. We love having visitors, and we have a number of visitors coming, which is great. so word is getting out, is our Night to Shine in early February 2023. So we have secured the Lake of Isles ballroom, and we will be hosting a prom event essentially for special needs adults, intellectual disablement, physical disablement, all up and down Eastern Connecticut.
Wow.
This event is hosted by one or two other organizations in Connecticut, and it's hosted all around the world on the same night. But this is the only one in Eastern Connecticut, and so we are partnering
That's very
with
cool.
a number of different agencies to pull this off. It is way too big for River Church to accomplish on our own, and so we're absolutely hoping for partnerships and volunteers, not just from churches, but from any community at all. Because what we do is we're hoping for 75 to 100 guests to come that night, and each of them are paired with a buddy for the evening. And that partner is with them all night to make sure that they're having a good time. And so there's hair and makeup and a red carpet and photographs and dancing and singing and karaoke and a meal. And it is a big deal.
It's a big deal, yeah.
It's a big deal. And here's why we're doing it. Because for people with intellectual and physical disabilities, that is the single hardest group to share the good news of Jesus with, because it's very hard for them to get out. They require, and I mean, yes, our building is ADA compliant. We have an elevator and all that, but just getting the transportation, and it's hard.
Yeah.
And so this is our hope, is that we can bring the good news of Jesus to them in a party atmosphere, celebrating them, understanding that it's hard to share the good news of Jesus with people who just have a hard time getting out and about. And so how do we do that? And this is our answer. And we've bitten off way more than we can chew. So we'll have more information about that. It's coming up in February. It's called Night to Shine. River Church is hosting it, and we're partnering with other churches, but we need lots of help. And it's a great way to be a blessing to truly charming. I've had the privilege of attending this event a couple of times in the Glastonbury area, and it's the best party I've ever been to. I mean, It's just awesome.
How many people?
So we're hoping for 75 to 100 guests with 75 to 100 buddies with support staff. There will be hundreds of people.
That sounds like a party.
It is a party. Limo rides. We take care of the families as well as the individuals with the disability. Like, it is a big deal.
It's not just the person; it's their family and.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't really perceive the enormity of it until you just kind of said that.
And it doesn't matter what the disability is, physical, mental, both, doesn't matter. Accommodations will be made.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a big deal. And we're, Jen Thompson is coordinating that.
Okay.
Kevin's wife. So very grateful for her leadership there. Excuse me. But yeah, that's something that I would love for people to hear about and to come and partner with us about. So at Lake of Isles, early February 2023.
All right. Josh, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks.
It's been a long time.
Well, COVID did a thing, you know?
Yeah. And I appreciate you reaching out to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Too. So
yeah, well, I appreciate seeing you on Sundays. It's nice.
Well, we'll talk because if you want to get some coffee and stuff.
I do like coffee.
You like hot cocoa too.
I like hot cocoa as well.
What was it you brought in that one time? You made hot cocoa right here.
Yeah. I brought in my hot chocolate maker.
It was.
We've had some good. I made you hot chocolate here. I gave you your first neck tat here.
My first neck tattoo.
I was thinking about that. Yeah. I am now on a quest to create the world's perfect cinnamon roll. I did not bring any with me today, but maybe I need to rectify that in future visit.
You like Cinnabon?
I love Cinnabon.
It's the center.
Right.
That is the entire epicenter of that thing.
I have been doing my research. I have an idea of how they do that, and it's a work in progress.
Got it. All right. Paul, thank you very much once again. We'll see you possibly Friday. We'll have we have him and another guy named Chris Goodenough. It's a retiree
I know
row.
Chris. Yeah.
Yep. And we do Ask Chris Anything on Friday mornings. And if he doesn't know the answer, he will make something up.
Because it's good enough.
It's just good enough. It's just good enough. All right, Pastor Josh, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, so coming up, let's see. We're going to have limited programming. Sports. I mean, Friday night, we're going to be live at Weaver High School in Hartford. Friday night, Grizzled Wheeler Wolverines taking on Weaver. Don't know who their mascot is. They're brand new to the ECC. So I guess I better look that up. And then Sunday, youth football at Grizzled High School, all 3 games, micros, juniors, and seniors. They're plowing through the competition. They plowed through Ellington last week. And, oh, by the way, Ellington, thanks for letting us come up. You had no reason not to. Do better. All right, we'll have some more tomorrow. I have no idea what's happening tomorrow. We'll figure it out right here at SNSN.
You see the signs everywhere. No alcohol if under 21. No tobacco under 21. No vaping supplies under 21. It's 21 for a reason.
Youth that use alcohol are more likely to engage in other risky behaviors.